a reservoir is not a simple tank, it has having several other elements present in it. So the figure shows the different elements of a reservoir. The first one is the tank. A tank is usually a metallic body which is fabricated usually by welding. It can have a square shape. The tank will store or contain the fluid of the system, and it will support all the other elements which are necessary. The tank will contain the store the fluid present in the hydraulic system, which is returning from the different elements, and it will work also as a support for other elements. So a tank and the other associated elements shown in the figure along with the pump and electrical motor is usually called as a hydraulic power pack. A electrical motor you will be usually mounted on top of the tank so that all the supply elements are present at one single location. So such a construction we will call as a hydraulic power pack. Or the pump can also be mounted separately. So you have to bring in a pipe into the tank which will suck the fluid, and you have to bring another pipe which will bring the oil back into the tank. So the first element is a suction line, and you are having the figure shows a filter. So suction line is connected to the pump inlet side, so that when the pump is operated, the low pressure created in the pump will suck the oil from the tank. So on the oil surface present in the tank, atmospheric pressure is acting. So this pressure will push the oil into the suction line. At the end of the suction line, you are having a filter. This filter will ensure that whatever contaminants are there inside the tank that are not coming into the pump. So you can have several filters wherever it is necessary to ensure that only clean oil is entering into the system. Now at what position the suction line should end? So in the figure you can see it is not exactly at the bottom, and it is not also at the very top level. So it is somewhere in between. So usually the inlet or the end of the suction line should be at least a few inches above the bottom surface, because at the bottom surface of the tank all the sedimentary particles, sedimentations will be there. You can have dust particles accumulated. You can also have water which can be accumulated at the bottom. So you don't want all these things to enter into the system. So you are leaving some space at the bottom, and you are keeping the end of the suction line. If it is at very top level and very close to the oil surface, then when the oil surface level drops, there is a chance of atmospheric air getting sucked into the pump casing, which will create several other problems. So it has to be below the minimum level of oil which is present inside the tank. So you can see there is something called as the maximum level of oil, and there is something called as the minimum level of oil. The suction line should always be a couple of inches below the minimum level and a couple of inches above the bottom surface of the tank. Then you are having the return line. The return line should be above the maximum level of oil inside the tank, and it should never be dipped inside the oil. Now why it should not be dipped inside the oil? So whenever you are operating the system, and whenever you are having some extra load, or because of gravity, if some of the elements are operating, it may so happen that there is a suction operation taking place, or if there is a low pressure created inside the system, then this oil should not enter into the return line, and then it should not enter into the system. So in order to prevent the entry of the oil through the return line and creating some other operational issues, whatever oil is coming out of the return line, it should fall freely into the tank. So whatever the remaining pressure of the hydraulic fluid is there, it is all dissipated as it comes out of the return line pipe, and it falls into the tank. So to relieve the system pressure and to ensure that the fluid is coming out at atmospheric pressure, you are having the return line at a slightly above level over the maximum level of oil inside the tank. Then you are having the breather or a filler cap. So just like in your automobile, you are having the cap which you are opening to fill the oil, and also to ensure that atmospheric pressure is acting on the fuel surface. The same principle here. The breather will ensure that atmospheric air is always acting on the surface of the oil. If you are not doing this, then as you are continuously sucking oil in from the system, the pressure inside the tank is going to reduce, and because of this vacuum, the tank may collapse. So in order to prevent all these things, atmospheric air is coming into the tank through the breather cap, and then the atmospheric pressure is maintained inside the tank at all conditions. Then it is also functions like a filler cap. So if you have found leakage and the oil is lost and the oil has fallen below the minimum level, then you can open this filler cap and you can fill the oil up to the maximum level. So that is also the function of the breather or the filler cap. Now also the atmospheric air is required because whatever oil is coming from the return line, that is continuously filling inside the tank. So the air, if it is not escaping, then it will be compressed inside the tank, and this will create the pressure. If this pressure is more than the pressure of the fluid which is entering into the tank, then the oil cannot enter into the tank. Instead, whatever air is present inside, it will try to enter into the return line, and it is not a preferable condition. Then at the bottom of the tank you are having a bottom plug. Whenever you want to remove the oil from the tank, you just have to open the bottom plug. All the contaminants and other particles which are collected at the bottom will simply flow out of the tank. Then you are having a heater and you are having a temperature indicator. Temperature indicator will tell what is the temperature of the oil present inside the tank. So if you are operating in very cold conditions, then if you can see the temperature is fallen below, then this temperature indicator can become a temperature sensor, and you can automatically start the heater which is present to ensure that the oil temperature is increased. The temperature is very important because the viscosity of the oil is very much dependent on the temperature, and for the smooth operation of the hydraulic system we require the particular viscosity level of the hydraulic oil, which means we have to have a proper temperature. Here heater is shown, which can be electrical heater, and it can increase the temperature of the oil. In some cases we can also have a cooler, because if the tank size is very small and if the oil is not able to dissipate the heat, then before the oil enters into the tank, it can be cooled by using a radiator like system to remove the excess heat from the oil. Then you are having a baffle plate. Baffle plate are the obstructions to the flow inside the tank. So whatever the oil is coming from the return line, it is falling into the tank, and when it is falling, there is a chance of creation of bubbles. There is a chance that the returning oil has got lot of contaminants. So this oil, whatever is returning, it should not straight away enter into the suction line, and the oil should be given sufficient time so that the entire turbulence, the contaminants and other things are completely dissipated and the contaminants are settled down, and then only the oil has to go. So we are making sure that it is following a difficult path, thereby the turbulence of the oil is reduced, and because of the difficult passage the oil has got sufficient time to allow the wear particles and other contaminants to settle down at the bottom of the tank. So here figure shows the one baffle plate. There can be more than one baffle plate. If there are large number of baffle plates, the baffle plates can also have certain holes in them to allow for the movement of the oil. Apart from this, the baffle plates are coming in contact with the oil which is entering into the tank. So this baffle plate will absorb the heat from the oil, and this heat will be transferred to the walls of the tank, and from the walls of the tank the heat will be dissipated into the atmosphere. So baffle plates will work like additional surfaces which we are going to absorb the heat from the oil, thereby improving the heat dissipation that is happening. Then you are having the sight glass. Through the sight glass you can see what is the level of oil present inside the tank. You should always ensure the minimum and maximum level. So minimum level is important because if the oil falls below minimum level, the air can be sucked into the pump. If the oil is present above the maximum level, then the oil may be sucked into the return line. So in order to prevent all these things, you are having the maximum level indicator and also a minimum level indicator. You have to monitor it, and you have to make sure that the oil level is always present within this particular range. So these are the various elements of the reservoir.